Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Fantom. Haven't covered Fantom for a while. To be honest, not much had happened, but now we have seen some movement here. So in the last video, we were coming up here obviously on this ascending trend line. And you usually, obviously, when you're in an uptrend and you are above an ascending trend line, then you logically continue to go up. But as soon as you see something change in the trend, and if you're, a trader, then you need to become vigilant, need to become, watch this chart closely, right? And here on this chart, also just to provide a bit of education here, if we just draw the trend line here a bit more accurately. So on this chart, there were things that happened that really could have given you a massive heads up. Yeah. So we were moving on this trend line higher and higher and higher. We actually moved all the way up to $1.70. So this was a significant peak. A few things happened here. So on the 4-hour chart, for example, let me just show you that on the RSI here. So you got overbought. That's the first thing. When you get overbought, you have to watch the chart very, very closely. Now, the next step, we came down, retested the 50-day moving average, all good, but we made only a lower high. That's a problem. If you make a lower high, it's the first warning sign. And then you also made a lower low, and that's the second warning sign. And then you made another lower high, and that was the third warning sign. And the major problem, or the major turnaround then happened when you crossed below that ascending trend line. And that is the trend line where I told you, as long as you are above this trend line, you can ride the trend. But as soon as you drop below it, I think that's it. And it was it. We even dropped below the 50-day moving average. That probably accelerated the downtrend. And yes, since then we've been in a downtrend, and the downtrend isn't over yet. We've actually come down quite impulsively, and basically all the gains that have been made from when we reached the target area here in blue to where we peaked to $1.70. So that was, let's assume you had bought perfectly at the low, which, many people didn't, and I didn't. It was a 62% increase, not massive compared to what others did, but still fine. And since then we have moved again, we dropped again another 34%. So the gains that have been made have been wiped out again, and we are now back in the target area. What is that target area? Well, this is the area in which I told you that the price is going to turn around with the highest probability. Now, the target area starts at the low of that wave A from December, goes all the way down to the 88.7% fib level at 54 cents. I think, should we really drop with Bitcoin another 30-40%, as I actually expect, that is a very realistic price level. Personally, primarily, what I would expect is the price to reach at least the 78.6% fib level. That is also what I told you here all along. That would have been an ideal level, the 87-cent level, the 78.6% fib level. The problem is that we here did turn around at a support, yes, which was at that wave A low. So theoretically, you could say, right, the lower low was in, a slightly lower low, and therefore the minimum requirements to complete the correction have been done, because what you want to do in an ABC, you ideally want to make a lower low. That's the best for the chart. And theoretically, Fantom could now start to move higher, but ideally, you would see the 78.6% fib level. That is normally what cryptocurrencies do in such a correction, in such a higher level correction. So that would still be my view here. As we did not break above that $2 level, that would have been a very important structural level. Now we stayed below it, we dropped below that trend line, and we're now back in the target area. So the last area of support here would really be that $1 level. If you lose it, then you go in, I'm pretty sure you're going to get to that 87-cent level, and then we would have finally reached that 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. So Fantom has pretty much done here what those waves indicate. So when we came up here, we took profits in that target area, which was the right decision to do. Here, this is a buying area for me personally, again, so you can see swing trading. It works with Fantom because Fantom is fairly volatile. Same story with Harmony One. And yeah, in my opinion, this here all worked out pretty well. That gives me more confidence in that wave count as well, that this here was wave 1, this here is a wave 2, and the next wave should be a wave 3 to the upside. That should take us to at least $5.53, but that is the absolute minimum. More likely here something like $6.80 or $8.86. So far that's working out. Ideally, I want to see the price go down to 87 cents. And yeah, at the moment we are in a downtrend. As I said, we have not slowed down, we have not stopped it. And as long as you are in a downtrend, you continue. I think, as I said, major support here around the $1 mark, maybe a little bit higher, $1.03. But for now, the downtrend is at play. The RSI isn't slowing down. The MACD isn't slowing down. So we see that downside potential here on the 4 hour, on the 8 hour as well. We were supposed to do here a bullish crossover, as it seems, but that was stopped. So we head further down. But we need to bear in mind that we're now oversold also in the 8 hour chart, and probably on the daily, we're also going to get oversold here very shortly. There is still a little bit more downside potential though also on the daily, and that could lead us to that $1.03 level, $1.02 level, that previous low here from the 14th and 15th of March. So very interesting, back in the target area, back for anybody who missed those buying levels, and you want to buy. Obviously it's up to you. I'm not giving you any recommendations here. I can only tell you what I do. And for me, the current area is again a very interesting price level. Yeah, basically for channel members, I share my own buy and sell orders on Discord, and yeah, with the reason we see now why I did not update those buy orders, at least not for most cryptos. I left them untouched since the low because the downside potential was still very much there. So I haven't adjusted them, and this is now proving to be the right decision because we are coming down to these levels again. There was no reason to buy higher. Yes, so personally I have waited now as well for get those buy orders to trigger again. And yeah, I'm waiting for that next one here around the 87 cent mark. That would be the ideal level where I would like to see Fantom. So let's just take a final look here at the weekly, because this is sort of the more long-term view. And yeah, on the weekly chart, what happened, we were starting to decrease negative momentum, and this is quite bearish. We are currently turning around here to the downside again, and typically you only see this when there will be further downside. So you already start to move up, you reduce the negative momentum, and this is again increase in negative momentum. Now that isn't great, and that just shows that we might really see here lower levels in the next few days and weeks. The 4-day chart as well was starting to reduce negative momentum. Now it did not create a bullish crossover, that was stopped before it could happen, and now we are also heading further down here. And if you see that on the 4-day chart, which is quite meaningful, on the weekly, yeah, I think for now at least, further downside potential is definitely there, and I would even see it primarily play out here around that 87 cent level for as a next stop. Yeah, and then of course if we don't see a strong reaction, then we could even drop to the 88.7% fib level from now. That would be a drop of another 50%. But it sounds a lot, but bear in mind a lot of people also commented back then when we were at this wave B peak. It was very hard to remain bearish back then, yeah, and to actually take profits. It was hard, but it played out to be true and correct. And here a lot of people also commented that we will never see my price target area, and we reached it, right? Okay, so it's always that shift in perspective which is important, and nothing is impossible in the crypto market. All right, that's my view here on Fantom. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter as well. You can find the video links the links for that in the video description. On Twitter and Instagram, we post stuff that we normally don't really talk about in the videos, some more timely updates as well, and a bit of different stuff, some funny stuff as well. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership as well, where you can get access to the Telegram live chat, the Discord server, and the weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.